Hey guys, boys and girls, muggles, moogles, everyone. Thank you guys so much for dropping by here on my channel again. And we're going to be taking a look at the units today. Before we jump into the units, I do want to let you guys know a few things that are coming up here. Just don't want you guys to get baited too much. If you ever were looking and wondering if there's ever any new information on Final Fantasy Breakfast, especially after an update, you guys should definitely hit up the Final Fantasy Breakfast Reddit. There's always interesting things posting on there. The community is pretty strong. They do help each other and they do point certain things out. So what I would like to point out, one thing here is that right now you can get Amazon coins with $35 off. So I don't know if you're an Amazon user or not, but definitely take a look at that. That might be something you can take advantage of, as Lapis is pretty pricey. As well as the one thing that is kind of always has me up on edge is bundles. So there's an individual here, Peppa Tunga, is talking about new bundles. So he has a screenshot here. Essentially, the way he got this screenshot is at the time of just before the update goes live. A lot of the times the server kind of starts introducing things before it shuts it down, and you have a chance to get a glimpse of things that are about to be released before it's intended. That's how they got these screenshots. Not everything loads. It's like a little bit of like a gimmick or a trick that you can do to get some information of what's coming up or what is in the data. As you can see here, there's 3 different bundles. There's 2 of them. One gives you tickets. So actually, no, the first 2 screenshots are all a part of the same one. For $11, you get 3 summoning tickets, attack 15%, materia, trust Moogle. Then you get power Crest, power Al Crest 10, power Milk Crest 5, and power Heavy Crest 1. Guys, this is not worth it. Okay, you have to understand that it looks good because of maybe the materia and the trust Moogle, but for $11, I don't know about that. Okay, so my advice to you guys is probably to just avoid that one altogether. Now, if you really want to talk about something being worth it, here, so let me show you this. So I would rank that the rare summoning ticket would be valued a little bit more than your daily pull ticket. So for example, every day when you log in, you get half off, which is 250 lapis. Okay, but it's a day thing, so you can only use it on that day. Whereas a rare summoning ticket, you can use whatever you want. You don't have to use it on the banner right now that you might not want. Maybe you don't want any of those characters. So I would value this rare summoning ticket at 500 lapis. And because you get to choose when you use it. Okay, lots of people will argue, say, but it's free. It's free, so therefore it's like a half off. No, if it's free, then it's free. It's not. You can't. It's better than a half off if it's free. Okay, but it's not. So essentially, it is a half off when you're summoning on the day, but the rare summoning ticket is valued way more. I would value it even more because you get to choose when to use it. Okay, so for 300 lapis, which is 500 more lapis than you would be using to spend on a daily summon, you get a guaranteed rare summon ticket that you can use when you want. Okay. And then for 500 more lapis, you're going to be getting about 1,000 raid coins. So that's up to you whether you value those raid points at 50 lapis or not, depending how you want to break down the lapis per energy. That's up to you. But in my advice is, anytime you have a rare summoning ticket in it involved, consider the rare summoning ticket to be valued at about 500. And then whatever the additional item on there, that's something that you can value on your own, whether you think it's good or not for you. Okay. So I just wanted to bring that out to you guys. Don't get baited by the $11.99. Take advantage to anytime you can save money off of coins or lapis or whatever you're trying to get here. If you want more information on what's going on, jump on the Reddit. They're there to help you guys out. Alright, so just a quick look here. This is the asset for Reberta and Zyrus. So those are just the animations. If you want to kind of like pause it or take a look at them or whatever, you can on your own there. Just repeat or whatever. Or go on Reddit and take a look at them on your own. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking a look at them. Okay, so most of the data has been pulled, so I'm just giving you guys a little bit of a pre-warning. It is now Thursday. It's not actually Friday, so not everything has gone completely live. So some of the information is still red. How it works in Wiki, if it's still red, it hasn't been like confirmed 100%, or it doesn't have a linking point to it. Okay, so I apologize in advance if there's no linking in it. That's the best I can do. Okay, so I'm just going to prepare this so that we can actually talk about it. So what am I doing here? What am I doing? I'm doing this. So we're going to be looking at Reberta first. Okay, so Reberta is a Dragoon. Okay, high attack, overall stats are so-so. Her hit points and attack and defense are pretty good. Coming in at a 5-star, going to a 6-star. Her TM is called Crimson Blood. It is a spear. It gives you 120 attack, and physical damage against dragons is increased by 50%. Okay, so that's essentially what she's saying there, and what we're gonna do here. Ooh, what is that? So, essentially, she's a dragon-destroying monster. You can read her story here. So, oh, actually, did upload it. Perfect. I don't have to flop around. So there she is. Overall stats look pretty okay for a 5-star. Hit points are a little bit low, but you know what, we can manage. Her attack is also pretty low, but she does get enhancement, not enhancements, but like passive abilities that boost her attack pretty high. No elemental resistances or status ailment resistance, so it's okay. Her limitations of weapons is terrible, but she is a dragoon, so this is expected to be exactly where all the other dragoons are. She can wear arm, like what do you call it, shields. No affinity to magic, which is a little bit disappointing, but whatever. So her abilities. So Reberta's abilities are based off of dragoon abilities. The closest relation I can kind of tell you guys about these abilities was from Final Fantasy XI. In Final Fantasy XI, the dragon and the dragoon are kind of synced together. When a dragoon uses a move, the dragon will also use some sort of move as well. So that's essentially what these kind of are, like fire breath. Reberta doesn't have fire breath, but the dragon does. So the dragon will be doing the fire breath, ice breath, lightning breath. All right, cool. So she learns jump, lance, and then she learns raging thrust. Raging thrust is a 2x multiplier to one enemy, and it's increasing the attack 80% for 3 turns. Whew, that was weird. Okay, anyways, so yeah, she gets the increased attack 80% for 3 turns to the castle, which is pretty good. All right, ice breath, lightning breath, and fire breast. Ice breath, lightning, and fire breath as well all share the same components, 2x multiplier of their respected element, and then they will reduce the resistance to said element. So for example, ice is ice, lightning is lightning, fire is fire resistance. Okay. She will also learn recovery jump, which is exactly like point warp from Noctis, right? Recover about 2,000 life, 150 MP. The values might differ a little bit, but it's the same mechanic. She will also learn Mystic Thrust, which is her big hitting move. So essentially the way it works is she will deal 4 times physical damage to 1 unit. Easy peasy. If it's used after ice breath, lightning breath, or fire breath, physical damage of 4 times multiplier is applied to all units. It becomes an AoE attack. That's cray. That is cray. Just like ice breath, lightning breath, and fire breath are decreasing the fire resistance and light resistance and doing the damage to the units in AoE, this is now also in AoE, but it's a 4 times multiplier. So it's really cool to chain across those. So you do ice breath and mystic thrust, and you can just blow up all the units at once, right? It's just sick. She learns Crimson Death at level 100, physical damage multiplier of 3 with a delay, with a jump delay of 1 turn, which is what you see normally from dragoons. If jump is used after, if used after jump or recovery jump or raging thrust, this same jump move, so Crimson Death, will do physical damage 4 times multiplier with a delay of 1 to 1 enemy. The physical damage 3 times multiplier delayed 1 turn will be done after the enemy. So they've made a note here. It needs some testing because the way it appears is that they're doing technically 7.5 multiplier, right? But it's weird because they're giving you 2 different values. So that's the one I'm wondering. Like, I personally think the way it's supposed to be worded here is that the physical, if you use it after those moves, the next one will now be a 4.5. So she's doing 1.5 more. But she is a 6-star unit, so 5-star based unit. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 7 multiplier. But I don't know. Because think about it. You do ice breath into like to lower the resistance of whatever element you're wearing, and then you do, you know, raging thrust to boost your attack, and then jump and then do your thing. It would be crazy. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but we'll have to literally see how the testing goes to see what this move what its potential is. Okay. The traits she gets: 20% hit points, 30% attack. She gets Ignatus. Ignatus Bond increases defense by 20%, fire, ice, and lightning resistance by 20%. Gets Spear Mastery, which is amazing because literally everybody who's going to be using Reberta will be using a spear, so this is really good to have. 50% attack, boom. Then the support as well as the bond, you get increased damage for all jump attacks by 200%, which is perfect. The new thing here is restorative breath, where you will be getting health and MP every turn, which is a little bit different than what we get from just refresh. And then Dragoon Meister increases resistance to confuse by 100% and will increase physical damage 100% against dragons. Holy macaronis and cheese, it's crazy. So she's got 100% killer dragon killer on her, super sexy. Her what do you call it? Limit burst is actually really strong. It's a 7 or 6.5 multiplier with a base and a 45% decrease armor for 3 turns. And if you boost her up all the way, it's a 7.7 multiplier to one enemy. That is a big hit. So you can actually use her limit burst fairly frequently to get some pretty big damage, which is actually really refreshing. You got her sprite there. It's pretty cool. I really enjoy the dragon, and it looks pretty cool for the 6-star. Alright, so that is Reberta in a nutshell. Again, some testing is required because we don't really know much about her because she's global exclusive, so we won't really know anything till we actually see her in action. Oh, come on, what is this? Get out of here. Whoopsies. Whoopsies. Press too many times. Alright, the next one is going to be Miley Zyrus. Miley Zyrus. Alright, we're going to be looking at Miley Zyrus. So Miley Zyrus is a male. Okay. 4-star going to 6-star, Black Mage, can be acquired as a rare summon from that gold crystal. Overall stats are pretty okay. Like, the MP is really nice. The fact that it's nice and high for a Black Mage is really good. Growth, whatever. Resistance is nothing. Limitations in weapons below, but again, rods and staffs are really what you want them to be able to wear. Everything else is like meh. Normal Black Mage gear there. Affinity to up to level 8 black, only magic. So let's take a look at the abilities here. So at 5-star, second he goes to 5-star, levels up, Miley Zyrus will get dual black magic, which is perfect. If a black mage is going to be effective, it needs to have double black magic or dual black magic or dual cast or whatever you call it. Alright, so we're going to come back to these 4 abilities here because there's an ability at the end that kind of refers to these. So essentially these abilities are, you get access to them. Alright, so look at the effects here. So Genius, so these are his passives. Genius increases MP by 20%, magic by 10. Dragon's Bane increases physical damage by 25% and magic damage by 50% against dragons. So if you hit him with a staff, you will do 25% increased damage. If you could be casting magic on him, which probably everyone will be because he's a black mage, it's 50% increased damage against dragons, which is really nice because this is technically the second unit that we have now that is a magic caster that has a magic casting killer effect. The other one is X Death, and it's against humans. Blood Rage increases limit burst gauge fill 100% for 2 turns when hit point drops below 33%. Cool. Restlessness makes sure that he is immune to paralyzed by 100% and silenced 50%. And then Mystic Arcana. I have to butcher at least one word throughout the day, throughout the video, to make it a Vortie video, a Vortie approved video. If you're wearing a rod, you will get 20% increased magic damage. If you're wearing a robe, you will also get 30% magic damage when equipped with a robe. Cool. All right, let's get to the magic. 4-star level 10 will learn Comet. At 19, Osmosis. At 60, Stonaga. 5-star level 37 Drain, 66 Graviga, 24 Wateraga, and level 44 Flare. So we're going to make some references here first because we're going to start referring to the bottom here. So if you use Flare, it's a 2.3 multiplier to the one enemy and will decrease water resistance by 30% for 3 turns. If you used Flare and then used your 6-star limit burst, you will then have access to these moves here. So then if you use Flare, your limit burst, and then use Blood Rend, you will do more water damage essentially. Okay, so water magic damage is a multiplier 5 if it's used after Flare. Okay, alright, cool. So I just wanted to make that quick reference before we go back down here. So that is Flare. 4-star, 5-star limit burst, so just regular limit burst. He does 5.4 multiplier damage. I'm looking at the max here, so always max. Damage to one enemy, and it increases magic by 79% for the caster. Alright, so here's the big one. When you get him to 6-star, he will do magic damage of 5 times multiplier to one enemy. Okay, then On top of that, he will buff himself by 80% magic for 3 turns, and he will enable those abilities that I discussed up there. So he will get the move called Bloody Frenzy. So you use blood skills, which is Blood Scar, Blood Curse, Blood Rend, Blood Pulsar, twice in 1 turn. Okay, so he gets like a dual cast in here. So you can use these guys twice. Otherwise, they're kind of like, you know what, you use them. If you don't use them, whatever, it's not going to matter as much. But you use this, buff up your character super hard, use Flare, then come down here and use Blood Rend 2 times. Oh my god, that'll be nuts. You can do so much crazy damage, and I really want to sit down and test to see what's going to happen. Otherwise, if you're not using your Limit Burst, you can use Flare, and then this, I kind of like chain those 2 off each other. If you're running low on MP, you can hurt yourself but get 99 MP back. Alright, so let's look at these abilities. Blood Scar, fixed damage of 999 damage to the caster, and he will recover 99 MP. Blood Curse, magic damage 2.5 multiplier to one enemy, and will decrease their magic by 50% for 3 turns. Blood Rend will be water magic damage 2.5 multiplier, and if it's used after Flare, it'll be a 5 times multiplier. And then Blood Pulsar. Magic damage 3.5 with consecutive damage increase of 1 times each, 4 times max to one enemy. Okay, so you can use Blood Pulsar, and you'll keep increasing your damage you do by 1 times multiplier each time. And if you use your Blood Hydra, you will be able to cast it 2 times right away, like boom, boom, boom. So that's kind of how you would chain that. You would go Blood Hydra. Then the next turn you would use 2 of those, so go Blood Pulsar. The next turn you can use Blood Pulsar again. The next turn you do Blood Pulsar again, so you can get all 4 of those. So as you can see here, it's 50 magic per hit, so 50 MP per use. So be careful how you do that. Personally, I think the use for this character is going to be using Blood Rend and Flare, because Flare does it for 3 turns. So if you did Blood Hydra, so your Limit Burst, followed by Flare, then you still have enough, because this only lasts for 2 turns. Yeah, so within 2 turns you have to use these 2, or you can use 2 of them both turns, whatever. But if you use Blood Hydra, Flare, and then do 2 Blood Rends, I think that's going to be your biggest cap out damage there. But that's something, again, people will be able to test out. He is a 4-star, so I expect a lot of people, including myself, to be able to at least get my little greedy hands on him. And I would love to level him up to max. He looks like a badass. He's got Miley Cyrus's name. It's going to be cool. Like, his pose is just epic. Absolutely epic. Like, I just absolutely love it. Like, look at that. He's been giving you a little glance back. Really, the only thing that Miley Cyrus is missing is a Wrecking Ball, and then he would be unstoppable. But I guess his Wrecking Ball is his freaking crazy Limit Burst that he gets. So overall, this unit is a must-have. I personally think he might be able to kind of, I mean, his magic limitation of like what he can cast, like spells-wise, is a little bit meh. But he does do water and stone coverage, as well as a little bit of fire here, and you know, and he's got comets. I mean, like, whatever. But I think he's going to be a staple of one of the more powerful units. We're going to have to do a little bit more testing before I dig myself a hole. But overall, the unit is good. If you do get him, get happy. If you get Reberta, you should be very, very happy, okay? I'm only going to be covering those 2 units in this video. I don't want to touch base on Furion and Kane, because I've talked about them before. If and when Kane gets a 6-star, I'll definitely talk about him then, because I absolutely love Kane. He's one of my top units up there. I have him maxed out, leveled up, and fully geared. So we'll take a look at that, alright guys? So thank you so much for sticking around. If you do want to look at these things on your own and kind of have a better understanding, maybe I skipped something, please don't hesitate. Jump onto Final Fantasy Brave Exvius's wiki. On the main page there, when you get there, you will be able to see the units, as well as if you scroll down a little bit, you will be able to see the different events that are coming up. Jump into those, take a look around, have a good understanding before the event begins tomorrow. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comment section below so I can help you out and maybe clarify something for you guys. But either way, come back tomorrow during Friday, probably in the evening. There will be a video released on me fighting Bahmut, maybe the trial as well. But at the latest, at the latest, you'll be receiving the video Friday morning before I go to work, so I'll definitely pass that along to you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around, guys. Thank you so much for the support. I will see you guys in the next video. This is Vortie, and I am out of here. Hit that like and subscribe button. Wink, wink.
I said it.